Point P is on the terminal side of the angle theta. Evaluate the 6 trig functions. We're looking at question 10. So let's see here. Where is negative 3, 0? Wouldn't that be 1, 2, 3 units to the left? Right about there? What kind of triangle can you make out of that? Come on, what kind of right triangle can we make out of that? You can't, thank you very much. You can't make a triangle out of that at all. So you must revert back to the unit circle. All right? We must think about this based on the unit circle. Oh, I almost had a good one. Almost. It was going decent for 2 quarters, you know. 3, okay, then the 4th, flat. Okay, so I need, let's go cosine. What's the cosine of theta? Think about this as a unit circle. Don't think about it like a triangle because we can't make a triangle. Okay, so it is negative 1. All right? Think about this as 1 unit in length instead of 3. Whenever you're on one of the axes, vertical or horizontal, then you have to think about it like a unit circle. So how about the sine? Come on, what's that y value out there? 0, right? And how about the tangent? What is the slope of this red line I keep? 0. Okay, let's go with the secant. Secant goes with which of the trig originals? Goes with cosine. That's kind of why I drew it across from the other one. Okay, what is it? Negative 1. Nice. How about cosecant? Don't say 0. Undefined, right. Folks, let's review something. Any fraction that equals 0 can be written 0 over 1. When you flip that thing over, it's 1 over 0. That is undefined. Okay? And for our last trig function, the cotangent. Faster. Undefined, right? Same thing. 0 over 1 flipped over 1 over 0. Ain't happening. Okay. That help out? You couldn't draw the triangle. That's why you might have been struggling with that one. You had to think back to a unit circle. Next, homework question. Please keep in mind these are intervals. Does everybody know what quadrant number 14 is describing? Pi over 2 to pi. Yes, that's quadrant 2. Nicely done, right? So they're describing that right there. It doesn't necessarily have to be the entire quadrant, but perhaps they, what if they said something like this? What about 2 pi over 3, comma, pi? Is that all of quadrant 2 or just part of quadrant 2? Do we know where 2 pi over 3 is? Do we need to go backwards? Do we know where 2 pi over 3 is on the cool circle? Where is 2 pi over 3? Which letter is 2 pi over 3? That is letter F. Thank you very much. So 2 pi over 3 to pi, that would only be part of quadrant 2. But it still would be quadrant 2, so whatever answers you have for 14 wouldn't change just because I, reduced some of the interval. Everything in that quadrant still has the same x values, y values, and slopes in terms of their positives and negatives. Okay, anything else? 24? Negative 60 degrees, which quadrant is that in? It's down here in quadrant 4, isn't it? Negative 60 degrees. So that creates a triangle that looks like this. Choose the point on the terminal side of theta. What do you know about x and y? Do you know anything? Do you know their signs? Do you know the sign of x for this? I mean, when I say the sign, I mean S-I-G-N. Positive or negative? Is x positive or negative in this case? This is a positive x value. What about y? Is it positive or negative? It is negative. So, if it's multiple choice, I don't think it's negative on both the x and the y. That one has the positive and negative in the wrong place. Man, this is getting easy. Now, if they had a better fake answer, you might actually have to think about the fact that you got the short leg on top and you got the long leg over here. So that's the negative radical 3. But to get to that point down there, it would be 1 to the right and negative radical 3 down. But they made it so easy because they didn't have a good fake answer in there. Any others? If you haven't done much homework, I'm a little worried. You got to do it each night to keep up with things. Okay, we shall move on.